Apps are only preparing people for examinations. What is the purpose of education?
to give knowledge and wisdom
Yeah.
to students.
So that has got many aspects. Every education, I don't know which grade generally people talk about when they wanted to say that they are giving tuitions, preparing them for examinations, coachings. The basic education from childhood from childhood has got a very specific purpose. The purpose of education from early childhood education. Recently I published 6 books on early childhood education.
Okay.
Here we should understand the psychomotor, mathematical ability, communication skill, interpersonal
Oh,
relationship, the social
oh,
skill. All these have to be developed from age 3 to grade 3.
oh,
After that, what is to be concentrated is know your life and know life around you. If Rashmi could recollect your syllabus on 5th, 6th, 7th class up to that, will be only discussing about the human body, environment, temperature, climate, the state, the federal system, different country introducing. That means you should know your life. You should also know about the life around you where you are living. Correct.
yeah.
See, after that, you have to select which subject you wanted to make a career, make a job, and all that. So today we are seeing the technology is giving lot of small tools starting from early childhood onwards. Understood. See, for example, the new
Yeah.
education policy came. They said informal education has to be there up to age grade 3.
Yeah.
But the teachers don't know what is to be done. So what happens immediately? One commercial company will come with a product. They will tell with these tools, if you teach, children will become great. And what are the examples they are taking? Those companies will look at what is happening in different parts of the world, copy from there. Somebody says Netherlands is great for education, copy something which happens there, create a product here, distribute like a tool, and then say 700 rupees. Each child can buy this, every problem is solved. But what is the basic education? I must understand my life, my environment. But that environment is not what is given by this tool. So basic education, you cannot get something or we cannot buy something which is imported from some other country. You must do it locally. Second one, the mathematical ability. Assume that I wanted to make somebody to run. Okay, prepare somebody for a running race. Maybe a ball badminton or a football or volleyball. How do I prepare them without a competition? I cannot win a race, running race, without at least 2 3 people running with me to see whether I am having sufficient speed in running or not, right? So classroom should be always with the people together so that social skill, their interpersonal relationship, the psychology of interaction, because human being is a human being, social being. So he must understand my being human means helping somebody else, supporting somebody else, being together. All these will not happen when you learn something through a digital platform. So most of the purchased tools which you are talking today, I am not naming anything, all of them, most of them or all of them which came in the last 5 years was a great substitute when school was not happening. Kids have to sit at home and learn, and teachers were not equipped with all the tools which are used for multimedia teaching. Multimedia teaching is not digital teaching. I suggest Rashmi to download one of my book which is publicly available on my website, which is called Adaptive Learning,
Okay.
Pedagogies and Practices for E-Web Net Learning, which I authored 17 years back before COVID came. That time also I was telling people should move into multimedia teaching, multimedia learning. They have to use augmented reality, artificial intelligence, all these advanced technologies. But that has to be a supplementary supportive system in the classroom, not a substitute for a teacher. I cannot bring a monkey in the classroom and then show the monkey behavior, how the monkey makes sound. So all the multimedia, sound, animation, simulation. Assume I want to teach biology, showing the cell pattern in my body. Even if I draw with all the colorful combinations on a board, which will not be good. Even if I project with a PowerPoint, it will not be live. So assume that I wanted to show how the plasma communication happens, how the DNA pattern changes, how the chromosome is communicating inside our body. I need simulation and animation. So these are supported through the tools which, that is what is education technology. Education technology is not a package which somebody uses and then start learning. Okay. What happens in education technology? Most of the they are called content developers, content providers, content producers, content describers, content repeaters. They keep reading the book and then start telling this is what the chapter is about, right? This is like a producer in a movie where he doesn't have any empathy, any feeling, but he knows how to act in front of a camera. What happens to the teacher, the so-called teacher who comes in front of you in a technology package? He has not understood mathematics, he has not understood biology, he has not or she has not understood chemistry, but they have given a content, they have to read it, they have to produce it because the sound is very good. So this is what is happening in most of the tutorials. I don't call it as education technology. The tutorials provided by the packages which are being marketed with the plenty of advertisements across, and everybody purchases it and use it. And what happens because of that? Repeatedly you are hearing it, and people believe repeatedly hearing something will make it very knowledgeable. Actually, it helps you to write for examinations. But they don't understand. Understanding is with the full heart inside that, with a passion. Effective and effective, E effective and A effective. Most of my teaching, I must have taught millions of teachers in this country, right? All of them, general topic is A effective and E effective. How do you become? I keep saying children have to learn by heart, but don't learn by heart. You understood the difference, no? Learn by heart. That means their heart has to be there. When you use packages, what happens? They learn by heart. When you listen to my lecture in a class, what will happen? Learn by heart. You understood the difference? So repeatedly learning will make them to learn by heart. Actually, it's not by heart, they by brain. Their heart is not there, brain is only there. It's like a backup medium in a computer. I back it up and I can plug it in and then use it for my input output device to display it. So children will learn like a backup medium. And are you there?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm there.
And what happens is they just mug it up in the brain and then put it in the newspaper. So this is not very effective. It is not very effective. Therefore, what happens is, see, when I go to some classes, again, maybe millions of teachers. I keep saying I am TPS because I represent teachers, parents and students. Okay. So nowadays, when I go to many of those schools, what I'm seeing, children have no questions. They have no eagerness to understand. Even if I present myself as a space scientist, they have no questions on space technology because they are only focusing on examination and marks, which is very, very essential. And that is being marketed by these tutorial tools. I am not calling them as education technology apps. I'll only call them as tutorial tools. So they are actually productive for getting marks, but non-productive is making the creativity in them. So what will happen? Um, every time IIT has the same problem. Many people are getting inside IIT with all the competitive exams. They create a pattern.
Yeah.
There are again tutoring centers where they will train them for getting into that. IIT keep changing their pattern so that nothing will
Yeah.
the same product will not come. But again, these tutorials are very very active. I don't know. There are two series, one on Netflix and one on Amazon, which is called the Quota
Yeah,
Factory and Crash Course, right?
Yeah.
See, it's hard to believe that a small place like Kota has got at least 100 chemistry teachers who understand chemistry up to 12th class. Then India would have been most advanced country in the world, right?
Yeah.
They are only mugging up and then pouring it into the brain of the children. What children are doing, they are also pouring it in the paper. They prepare themselves. See, when I was teaching in one of the private engineering colleges, I was a professor of mathematics. I had a paper called Campus to Corporate.
Oh.
What I was teaching was logical reasoning, analytical skill, mathematical ability, data analysis, communication. What I do is from internet, I will take 5 questions. After each class, 1 hour of class is over, the last 15 minutes is examination every day. In a university, I did this for MBA, BBA, BTech, and all the master's level students. What I did is took 5 questions from internet and another 5 questions which I just created myself, which is much simpler than what I copied from internet. What I found is all the children will pass immediately. They will write answers for all the Google questions. But some simple question which I ask, which is not available on Google, most of them fail. 99.9% of the people fail. So you can understand their creativity is lost, data analytics is lost, interpretation power is lost, reading ability is lost. I don't know whether Rashmi has seen my, I have got a playlist on UPSC in which I teach students how to read newspaper. You know why am I doing it? I have hardly seen students reading newspaper today.
Yeah.
See, is it not very essential? I keep saying the whole world what is happening is being filtered by many number of people, and then it is coming onto your doorstep and you don't even read it. That is because the reading habits have lost. Most of the tutorials are only hearing. So it is nice to hear in the childhood, but as you grow, you have to read. Up to 3rd grade, people should not read at all. They should only hear. They should only draw pictures. Even writing ABCD is like drawing pictures of ABCD. They need not understand. But then they realize, oh, this is alphabet which I can connect together to put into words so that I can make poetry tomorrow, right? Now what is happening because of ChatGPT, because of the tutorial applications what is being sold, they learn how to write poetry even without understanding the alphabet. You understood?
Yes.
This is what is happening. So the technology is relevant and supportive for writing examination, your question number 4, but the benefits and the defects of it I already explained, right? So I think we are no American. See, the most advanced America started talking about DU schooling. DU schooling is don't attend to schools. You can write open, sit at home, use all the online activities to learn. If you look at documentaries on DU schooling, there are plenty of them, which may be 30 years old. Okay. But that DU schooling is not just depending on the tutorial applications. They have a lot of assignments which are very creative. See, if you look at edX and Coursera, which gives international university certification programs, you can see them. They give a lot of creative assignments.
Yeah.
If such creative assignments are not given, children are not encouraged to ask questions, any repeated tutorial will not be of any use. Understood?
Yes, sir.
And what happens now? There are a lot of demand for psychology. If you ask most of the teachers and students, they have got a CBSE told, every school should have a psychotherapist, counseling person should be there. There has to be a counseling room. You tell me who are the people who go for psychology? Probably they were not good in maths. They could not learn science. And who are the people approaching them with the problem? Where they don't understand mathematics, they will go and tell some psychologist telling that I am not able to understand mathematics. Immediately the psychologist will tell, yeah, for me also maths was very tough.
Yeah.
Understood? Finished. And if your teacher is wonderful, definitely it would have helped you. Best thing is go to tutorial apps, repeatedly listen that, and their marks improve. They really feel that the psychology is working. Because they are looking at patch solutions. Their concentration power and focus power is lost because repetition makes you to lose concentration.
Okay.
In a classroom, there is a Nanny's principle. The classroom says you should not repeat anything, but teachers buy even the tutorials. If you look at it, I have seen best tutorial which comes from Delhi, which comes from Bombay, which comes from their franchise have been distributed. I look at impassion, without any passion, without any expression in the face. They repeat the title, and 3-4 times in the digital platform they repeat.
Yeah.
It is very, very difficult to see in a TV interview somebody repeats what he says 3 times. Is it not the boring thing what you can have in your life?
Yeah, it's very boring.
In a dialogue, in a cinema dialogue, assume that the dialogue, the superstar keeps repeating his dialogue. How boring the cinema will be.
Yes.
So what happens is the students are seeing the most boring multimedia programs through these applications. Actually, how do you create attention for children? Immediately, there is in the adaptive learning book which I wrote, I have told many people are learning styles are different. One is apprentice type learning. I can tell step number 1, assume that the scooter is not starting in the morning. I must open the knob. I must open the spark plug. I must clean the spark plug, put it back. So it's a sequence of things which I am supposed to do. It is called apprentice type. Another one is deductive type. History, when I was telling, I will tell the story and deduce a moral message from that. Okay, inductive style, that is another style. Discovery style. Mathematics, when I teach, I must use discovery style. I will ask a question and give time for children to look at it, and they have to solve the problem. And in case somebody is also a problem in a different style, I must go and look at it and then tell, oh, this is a new idea, this is a new style in which you have solved, but you can do it with this style much faster. You tell me in any of the apps these sort of an interaction between the teacher and the taught is available. If it is not available, how are you going to make a child highly discovery oriented learner? Therefore, their focus on the problem, focus on the solution, focus on the methodology, all that is being lost.
And another thing like in Unacademy and on the other platforms like Baidu, they have a doubt tutorial platform. Like during the sessions on they clarify doubts. Even that one is also have some tickets.
See, in the beginning, the platform which you explained now, the Unacademy, there were passionate people who are doing it voluntarily, and now what has happened, when you make anything commercial, you have to deliver something by this time, this date. The fastness in which the demand is coming, and the more number of, assume that I have a teacher, I am clearing the doubts of 1 or 2 students or 3 students where I know the pulse, I know their background, I know their how much they have learned. That's why I just mentioned Nanny's principle, which always says understand the background of the student. If I don't understand the background of the student, if I don't know Rashmi, I know Rashmi, when you were talking earlier, you spoke to me on this day, you were with Inadu, now you are shifted. Therefore, I know the focus in which you are going to listen to me, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what do? I just finish it in 5 minutes and then say, yeah, my job is over.
Yeah.
So the connectivity between the teacher, at least at school education, if it is not there, I think people will lose their heart. That is what is happening. Today, most of the students are no patience. It's not like seeing a movie and learning the story of the movie. The science have to be understood by doing, by experimenting, practically seeing. Even simulation is fine, animation is fine, but I must see it in the classroom. See, electrolysis, when it was taught in the classroom, I remember I have connected to a battery, taken copper sulfate, and then connected two lids, and then put some silver and another copper, seen that the copper is being transferred there. I have studied when I was in school days. I have seen my teacher who is coming with a convex lens, taking to the ground, showing with the sunlight, burning the paper. This is experimentation, right? Laboratory.
Yeah.
Now what happens is, you have got a tutoring system where you think that that is the best teacher available in the world. You start ignoring your teacher who is in the classroom because you are repeating it there. I told you, repetition makes your focus down. Now what will happen? Assume morning I have a breakfast in my house and I don't get anything to eat until lunchtime. What do? I eat my breakfast thoroughly. I enjoy my breakfast every day. Assume that as soon as my breakfast is over, I am going to Oberoi Hotel for a breakfast with somebody else. Do you think my breakfast at home, I will do it sincerely?
No.
And I am forced to eat it because my mother is cooking. And I will eat something here, I will go to Oberoi, but I will not enjoy there because my tummy is half filled already.
Yeah.
This is what is happening today in the classrooms. The teacher is preparing the student for an examination. We are not out of classes, right? We have schools, we have classes, and normal teachers are teaching there where they don't ask any questions because you have a tutorial to attend as soon as the class is over, in which same thing is repeated by a different person, a different style, which is you considered as a 5-star because you are paid more. You understood the difference?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the attention of the children in the classroom is totally lost. The respect to the teachers is totally lost. The school system is only to give them a certification. Earlier, like Telangana, now we are talking from Hyderabad, we cannot forget what Telangana has done long back. It's almost 10-15 years back. They had Chaitanya Narayana group of 12th class programs, right?
Yeah.
Chaitanya Narayana together, I call it as China program. So I was telling, during the COVID, Telangana had a China disease long back.
Yeah.
So what happens is, there at least what is happening is, the teachers are same, the tutors are same, the examination they keep conducting, they test them, they don't have two places where they are learning. Though they were very harsh, they were very rigid, they were very potentially looking for result oriented teaching. Now the situation has become much worse. When that was there, many people said that is not a good system of education. Now, because of the advancement of all these tutoring platforms, online tutoring platforms, things have become much more worse. That's what I have to tell.
Yeah.
The most affected or maybe most disrespected people may be the teachers in those schools now. It is very difficult to see even a school who has got a residential school where teachers are there. They are also very much dedicated. Recently, I went to one of the so-called international schools where I have seen they have contracted it out to some of the companies. You tell me, I have got a student who is learning maths from me, and immediately after that, that fellow goes to somebody else for a math tuition. What is the respect I will get? What is the dignity which I have got? What is the self-respect I have to keep with me And how can I teach in the classroom when I know this fellow is going to, how can I feed my child when I know this child is going to eat in a five-star hotel immediately after having breakfast here? You tell me, how do I feel? It's not once in a while as an occasion, right? It's every day happening. And the students don't have time for any other sports activity. Therefore, they have a great psychological impact. You know, I'm a psychotherapist. Most of the problems what I'm getting today is the children have no patience. They get angry very fast because they are being pressurized. I don't know whether you have seen the pressure cooker movie, Telugu movie.
Yeah.
It's like people are put in pressure cooker to produce. They have to bake them fast, right? That is what, with minimum energy, how do you produce the best? That is what is happening in the education system today. So pathetic, Amma. So pathetic. But I don't think any new education policy will make any difference in India unless government decides. See, you can be a tuition teacher without any qualification and charge as much money as you want. You don't require a license. You don't require a B.Ed. You want to become a teacher in a B.Ed. You want to either B.Ed or TTC or pre-education qualification from a certified person. But same thing you can do it online with much highly paid without having any qualification certification from anybody in the world, and they are dealing with the students. You can tell me what will be the situation. That means you don't respect your own education system in which B.Ed, M.Ed and all is not a requirement, right? The food supplier can supply anything packed without having any food corporation seal. Will you permit it? Why education is being sold like this without anybody's licensing programs? If that is happening, I think new education policy will not get implemented. Actually, there is nothing new in new education policy. I have given a lot of lectures in which I keep saying what happened before independence and soon after independence. The first education policy, Rajendra Prasad himself started telling the university system has to teach everything together. India created a lot of specialized universities. Now the new education policy says no specialized universities. University means everything has to be together again. You tell me, was it not something which happened 50 years, 70 years back, again repeated again? That is because implementation will not happen. Who has to implement? Central government has to implement, state government has to implement. We keep fighting who is the guardian. So the child is getting spoiled. That is what is happening. The Duryodhana got spoiled because mother was blind, father was blind. There was no single mentor who was wise or open. Now we have got central government and state government who is like husband and wife. The Dhritarashtra and Gandhari both became blind. That's what is happening. So I am too much concerned.
As you said that educational technology is only caring for competitive exams. It's like do you think they are not perfect to be operating in our country?
No, actually there has to be somebody who looks at it. Is it the method to be sold? When I produce a pickle to sell it in the market, I must get a license from somebody, right? You tell me, is there any authority here in India who will look at whatever the tutorial applications coming and being sold, and you can advertise it just like that? On the TV you will see people advertising, right?
Yeah.
And you don't require any quality control on this. You can sell it. Is it not? It's not a big crime or not? Anyway, I don't know how Rashmi landed on me. I'm so happy. I keep talking in this in different schools, but very right. I am now more focused and concentrated on the early childhood education, because during the COVID, many teachers oriented programs on early childhood have been one of my priority.
Yeah.
So I think the memorizing skill is must. Writing, thinking, what you asked in the second question, no? The There are four different basic concepts. One is mathematical ability, another one is language orientation. The language orientation, along with the creativity and lot of quest for knowledge, asking questions. No, asking questions. Every child by birth are curious to know what's happening around. See, every child by birth is curious. So if you leave a small child who can at least scroll on the forelegs, the hand and the legs, they will start snatching something and ask, looking at you will ask what is it, and we have to answer them telling that this is a telephone, this is a spoon, this is a fork, this is a cup. That's how we teach them. You tell me in the LKG nursery classes which is the most repeated word. The most repeated word by teachers is keep quiet, right?
Yeah.
So our education system, and what are the teachers doing? They are shouting. You are asking students to be silent, but what you are seeing is people shouting at it. So in the classrooms also, I think the starting focused program should be in the early childhood education. There is a great Sanskrit shloka which I have posted September 1, 230901. That is my number for my YouTube, 230901. If you look at it, before the Teachers' Day, I have posted one sloka which says, even if it is dark, even if I am blind, if I am shown the first step on the staircase, nobody has to handhold me. I will climb the steps without anybody's help. Correct? The first step is very, very essential. If I know the first step in the staircase, even if I am blind, I can climb. So education system in the early childhood has to be very, very thorough so that the children will ask questions, asking question, clarifying, understanding, all these ability will come. There, the critical thinking, data analysis, all that what is in the competitive exams have to be taught from the childhood. Communication skill, different multiple languages. Now earlier we call it as mother tongue, but today not only mother tongue, we have mother tongue, we have a different father from a different tongue, so we have a father tongue, we have a neighbor tongue, because now we are in a cosmopolitan world. We have in our TV, we have at least 10 different languages available. So a child can be exposed to minimum 10 different languages in an Indian situation. If that can be done, I'm sure that tomorrow's child. So I am saying education technology has to be used thoroughly, but there is a very good direction requirement for making them to use it in the proper way. Then their life will become much more better. So creative thinking, critical analysis, by hearting is very, very essential. Everybody cannot remember things today because they believe everything is there on the system. So memorizing ability has to be done in a better way with a very, very, see, for example, people understand the word question, but they don't know the root word of that is quest. If you go to the root word and then learn that, then memorizing become very useful, because you get anything related to that world in any context, you will be able to learn it very fast. So that is how the critical thinking ability has to be improved. Good, nice. Thank you thank you very much. I think.
Sir, one last question, sir. This regarding any tips for concentration and focus in the growing world of technology, like can you share some tips on that?
Again, reframe it. What did you ask?
I asked about, can you give some tips on how to improve concentration and focus in the growing world of technology?
See, what is required if I go to a movie theater, is there a problem for concentration? When I go to most of the schools, people keep saying, I don't have focus, I don't have concentration. Tell me, how do people have concentration and focus? Because when I go for a movie, I prepare. I know who is the hero, who is the heroine. I know where the cinema happened, what is the plot, who is the author. I know the name of the movie. I know the script who has written. I know the director. I know the plot. Everything is known to me, right?
Yeah.
Assume Rashmi is talking to me without any questions being prepared, and you have no interest in what I am speaking. Will you be able to focus on what I am saying? Because we have been talking for last 33 minutes now. your focus based on your quest for knowledge. Question has to be there. You should have some background preparation. If you don't have a background preparation, if I speak about some subject which is not anyway connected to you, what will happen? You will lose focus, you will lose concentration. So pre-preparation is must. That is why I keep saying, not Nane's principle says you must know the background of the student. That means I have syllabus with me, I have textbook with me. Why people are not preparing themselves and going to classroom? If I finish reading Macbeth and go and sit in Macbeth class, I think I know half of Macbeth. I know who has written, who is the author, all that I know. When I sit in the class, when the teacher is explaining Macbeth, I will look at him like, yeah, I knew this already, but tell me something more. The teachers also will have more things to deliver. Now what happens? Nobody knows which is the subject, what is going to happen. It's like a Pandora box. Just open it and then see something there. Assume that I get something in my plate which I don't know what is the item. Will I cherish eating it, or I prepare for going for a dinner understanding this is what I wanted to eat. I know the menu already. I am preparing myself. The saliva will come when I think of that item, right? I am going for a party. I know this is what is being served there. Before preparing itself, the saliva will come, my tummy will be ready for that. But here what happens is people are not pre-preparation is not there. For anything, pre-preparation is must. Anything to happen, they should have a pre-preparation, a planning. If planning is not there, Udyamam is the pre-planning. Then Sahasam. Then only action should come. Sahasam is action. Without Udyamam, if you do action, it like an accident. So for many children, class is an accident. They are panic. They don't have focus. This is what is happening. And education, teacher should make it like an entertainment. I take classes for 6 hours continuously. I have never used a word, please listen to me, attend here, look at me. But I keep saying most of the teachers are beggars. They'll say, please listen to me, look at me, please. That is because what you're delivering is not interesting, right? Do you think a cinema director will come in between and then ask the audience, please listen to my movie? They become so dramatic, and attention power is being caught. That is the success of a movie, right? You will glue to the teacher if the teacher is delivering it with the most interesting style, what the students cannot take their eyes from the teacher, right? It's very, very essential to make classrooms interesting.
Yes. Thank you so much sir, for your information. And it's really interesting to learn about this task. Thank you so much.
I must thank you, Rashmi, because what happens today, even in the media, like any paper or TV, rarely we see something which really discuss such activities which are really useful for people, right? We are behind the gossips, behind the fun, behind the movie, behind the songs, all entertainment programs. But when somebody does it, I'll be the most gladdest person actually. So I must thank you.
Thank you. Can you teach me teach at tech series and all?
What is that you want?
Teach at in UPSC paper 2 exam.
See, better, you have one of my book which is called Prelims Handbook, Civil Service Prelims Handbook.
Okay.
It is available on my website. I will send you the link. I will send you the PDF. And exactly what you require is the comprehension ability. If you have, I'm sure all the paper news journalists will have comprehension ability, right? So if you have good comprehension ability, your English is fantastic, wonderful. That is half done. And third one, your ability to remember the dates in history and all is very, very essential, right? So what do I tell is convert them into a mathematical line table. Convert them into a Excel sheet. Excel sheet, you start preparing all your India, what happened, who was the greatest poet in India during that time, who was in America. Internationally, during Wordsworth, who was the Telangana poet. If I ask you, you will not know, right? But if you can create like a table, it becomes simple for you to compare. See, when Indira Gandhi was the prime minister, she went to America and met which president of America? If you have a chart in which it is there, it becomes so simple. When Swami Vivekananda met Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna lived next 6 years only. After that, Ramakrishna died. Which year he met? If you know what happened, right?
Yeah.
Now, similarly, 82 years is where our C.V. Raman lived. 1928, February 28. The year is very, very specific. 28 is the February and 28 is the year. 1928, February 28, he invented the Raman effect. But he got only Nobel Prize after 2 years. So 1930 he got. So if you relate this in a timeline, I am seeing what I have prepared in my Excel sheet in front of me like a movie cinema. So I can remember all these like that and relate with your life. This is what is most difficult part in the CSAT is that. And second most difficult thing is on the geography part. Because most of the general knowledge is geography, right? So what you should do is when you learn geography, keep the map of that area and then start drawing. Aurangzeb traveled from Delhi to Daulatabad, mark it in the graph so that it becomes pictorial in front of you. This is what is to be done. We can sit sometime.